about the weather data analysis and the prediction in Swan Hill rural city site. Here we hope to discuss about the introduction, sampling, descriptive analysis, hypothesis testing, and the regression. Under the introduction, here we have choose 2 consecutive months, May and June in 2023, and we consider about 3 variables: temperature, humidity, and the wind speed. And we choose Excel sheets to analyze the whole data under this different analysis parts. When talk about the sampling, the sample method is the systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is calculated by dividing the population by sample size. According to that, the population is 20,483 and the sample size is 2084 and the sample interval is 10. And we choose the Excel data analysis tools to calculate this sampling. And when talk about the descriptive analysis, we calculated these areas under temperature, humidity, and the wind speed. The mean is the average value of the whole data, and the standard error is how much individual data points in the dataset differ from the mean of that dataset, and this median is the middle value of the whole data, and the standard deviation is the how much the sample mean it is likely to differ from the true population mean, and the range is the difference between the maximum and the minimum value, and sum is the total value of the whole data, and the count is the number of data. And here I have interpret the average wind speed and the average temperature and average humidity occurred during the 2 consecutive months.
So I'm gonna explain the hypothesis analysis part of this assignment. So in this analysis part, we got the null hypothesis as there is no significant difference in the average temperature between June 2023 and May 2023 in this area. And alternative hypothesis is there is a significant difference in the average temperature between June 2023 and May 2023. So first of all, we try to verify this t-value through the formula as well. So we have calculated this t-value through this same formula, and we got the answer of the t-value is 0.068 is lower than the critical value of 2. It means this is fails to reject the null hypothesis. And in when we calculate the null hypothesis analysis through the Excel, first of all we have exclude the temperature data for 2 of these executive months, and finally we add the data analysis part to the Excel, and from this data analysis tool we got the t-test 2 sample assumption unequal variances. From this data analysis tool we got the same value from the t-test formula as well. So it means p-value is 0.9462 is higher than the alpha value of 0.05, and it means fails to reject the null hypothesis. As per the conclusion of this hypothesis analysis part, it means the fails to reject the null hypothesis that there is no applicable difference in average temperature between June 2023 and May 2023.
So the last part is linear regression and statistical prediction. So first we calculated correlation coefficient. The goal of determining the correlation and building a regression model is to gain insight into how temperature, humidity and wind speed are related with each other. And we can see here temperature and wind speed has negative correlation, whereas temperature and humidity has strong negative correlation, and humidity and wind speed has negative correlation. So then we calculated multiple linear regression, In multiple linear regression, temperature is dependent variable and humidity and wind speed are the independent variable. We can explain the equation of multiple linear regression as follows, and we calculated R squared value. Here R squared value is 0.7046, which means that there is a higher R squared value, which indicates best fit, and whereas regression standard error measures the model accuracy. And the next one is ANOVA table, which is the most crucial statistics table, and here overall f-test p-value is highly significant, and it indicates that the regression model is statistically good. And the next we calculated residual output, which means difference between actual temperature and predicted temperature from the regression model. It helps in assessing how well a regression model fits the data. And now we'll go for the assumptions and limitations. In assumptions, there is a linear relationship between predictors and response. Which means that this assumption suggests that relationship between each independent variable and the dependent variable is linear. The next is there is no significant correlation between the predictors. And the next assumption is independence of observation. The value of dependent variable for one observation should not be influenced by the other. And there is constant variance of residuals and normal distribution of residuals, and there is limitations that output may go beyond the range. And now to conclude with the conclusion, there is average humidity and average temperature that appears to have relatively moderate and stable values, and it fails to reject the null hypothesis. And in linear regression, there is negative relationship between all the three variables, which means if one variable increases, other decreases. Thank you.